250, I think it's like 500 for the men's, 250, and they released it, and I honestly, I saw it, and I digested it, and I was like, oh, I don't think this is anything of what I would. So I figured, hey, why don't we look at the top 10 women's wrestlers, and we'll see who I would have switched out, and where I would have put some of these other people, I guess. So let's start right off the bat with Athena at 10. I think that's way too low for Athena. Athena's had an amazing ROH run, and she's still going.
Nobody saw it.
She's a pretty solid wrestler when it comes to like pretty much going against anybody. Like she has one of those styles that gels really well. And I think she's definitely top 5. I mean, it's kind of crazy that she is on ROH, which there's nothing wrong with that, but like she's not even on AEW's main channel anymore, or main brand. But I feel like she's probably, I would say probably she's definitely the highest rated AEW ROH talent that I have on my list personally. So I think Athena definitely should be 5. Next up is Marissa May, or I would call her Marissa, but like that's definitely not her name. Mariah May. I don't know. I've probably said that a million times. And she's had a great year. So Mariah May definitely feels like she should be somewhere around here. I definitely don't have her at 9. I'm gonna be honest that she's probably a little bit lower than that. I probably have her. I don't know if I even have her in the top 20 to be honest. I mean, she's had a great year getting the women's championship, but I think overall her matches are just they're okay. I would definitely replace her with Mio Mamo. Oh goddamn, I can't even say it. Mio Mono. Yes, and I think she's currently 162 on this list.
What is
so
that?
It's a little rough, but I would definitely have her as my number 9. Oh, my number 10 because I don't know why I did this out of order. It would be Stephanie Core, who's at 5 here. Stephanie's had a great year. I think me personally, it might just be a thing with me. I know she's had, I can think of really good matches, and I've seen her NXT stuff, but to me, I haven't seen the regular outside of stuff, so she might be higher up, but me personally, I think Stephanie is a solid 10. So 70, 10, I have Mio, 9, and then we go to 8, Willow Nightingale. Willow Nightingale, I definitely think is a top 20 wrestler. I think I would have her on the lower end. I'd probably put Willow down to like 19. I would still have to go really down that far, but I have not done that. I would personally replace her with Maki, which is 4 on this list, so I put her down a little bit lower. I feel like, Maka. God, why am I bad with names? I don't know. You think I'd be better knowing more of the Japanese wrestlers if I'm going to cover them? Maybe I'll get really better this year. I personally have her 8. I think she's had an up or down year with some of her matches, but overall, I think she's been a solid wrestler. I like her a lot. She got that Kitsune vibe. I'm a Kitsune, so I definitely think she's one of my favorite, but I would put her at 8, and I would put Willow down to 19. Next up is Bayley at 7. I don't think I've really ever been a Bayley fan. It's one of those things. Bayley's a really solid wrestler, good in-ring worker, good mic worker, but to me, just not really my cup of tea. I still have her probably in my top 20. I just don't really know exactly where I'd put her, maybe like 15, and it's mainly just because maybe me personally, I'm not a big Bayley fan, but I can at least acknowledge that she's really good, and she does a great job, so I would have her easily replaced with Julia. I put Julia right there. Julia had a great year. Julia's a great wrestler. I probably have her a little bit higher for a year, a little bit better, but she was fighting injury a lot of it. This is kind of like one of those things, like we kind of put the year into a factor. We also have to put in just the skill and the aura, everything. So like the list is always going to be construed. So I would personally put Julia at 7, put Bayley back down, and I think overall pretty decent area to put her. Next up we have Sarie at 6. It is way too low for Sarie. Sarie would be 3. I honestly feel like Sarie could possibly be 1 or 2 because she's had a phenomenal year, getting championships after championships. The only reason that I'm really hard stuck on my 1 and 2 that she goes to 3 for me, but I definitely think if she continues what she's doing, she's easily going to be either 1 or 2 next year. She's had a great year. Miracle champion. She Sakabon champion. She just has had great matches. Great matches against Julia at the Miracle event. That was like the last big one before Julia left. So I would have to put her at 3 for me, and definitely move her from 6. Now, my 6 is Utami, which is another Miracle wrestler. She had a phenomenal match against Io Sky back in, I would definitely say it's like top 3 matches of the year in my eyes, if not higher. I'm gonna probably do a video on it, so I don't want to spoil exactly the positioning of Sarie, but she's had a great year. She has a big match against Sarie coming up for the title, and I think she should win it and bring Miracle to another new year of just their second year around, and I think it will definitely be the person to put the belt on. So I have Utami at 6. We already know my 5 was
know who that is.
With Stephanie. I feel like it's just kind of one of those things.
How can you objectively be wrong if nobody even knows who it is?
Favorite wrestlers to watch, and it's just me personally. I felt that she was a little bit lower compared to some of the women here, but I mean the top 10 is still an amazing talent. So we'll go to 4 here. They have Maki, and I have her at 8. I honestly 4 is a great spot for her. If I'm not upset there, I just be personally think other people are there. So I'm gonna have to put my 4 as Io Sky. Io Sky's had a phenomenal year. I would probably put her higher if she could have maybe captured a championship. I just feel like she was underutilized in some parts of the year. She's had amazing matches. I go back to the Tommy match. She just had a great match with Liv Morgan. It wasn't the greatest that I've ever seen, but I think that she's primed for probably a big year coming up, and she probably will crack that top 3 for me. But I think she's one of the best wrestlers on the WWE roster, and she is my 4th. So we already got the 3, which I put as Sarie. Rhea Ripley, I would have to put back a little bit. The problem with Rhea Ripley, she's my favorite, like top 3 WWE, favorite wrestlers. She's just like I like her a lot. She's amazing, really cool, love her character, love everything about her. I just personally don't have her as high up. I probably have her around like 12. Her last year, kind of a wash because of injuries. Right after WrestleMania, she's pretty much been out of commission and just stuck in an endless feud with Liv Morgan, which I'm not a huge fan of. So it kind of dampers her year stats for this year. So having her 3 on this is kind of insulting to some of these other wrestlers to a certain extent because it's like if you're basing it off of just this year, she's definitely not the 3rd best wrestler because she's not even put in over 10 matches this year, which is no bad thing to a certain extent if you're putting on great matches, but she hasn't had that many matches to really say like these are great matches. She's had 3 matches, 2 free against Liv, 1 against Becky, and I think 1 against Nia at the beginning of Elimination Chamber at the beginning of the year. I don't know. It hasn't been a lot of matches in the 1 against Raquel. So I think putting her 3 is a little too high. I'd probably put her 12 just because she's still a dominant force, and when she wins the heavyweight title, hopefully they can build her back up and she can be a top 10 wrestler for next year. Next up is Jordynne Grace. I'm not going to discount her year. She's had a phenomenal year. I've never really been a Jordynne Grace fan. Nothing against her, just not really my cup of tea. I probably would have her still in the top 20, probably at 20. She's had a great year, great knockouts champion. I hope she comes to the WWE, maybe seeing her on a more regular basis on stuff that I watch week to week. I think she would maybe be better. Just not really my kind of wrestler, so I'd have to put her in 20. My number 2 would be AZM, which is crazy that she's like 126 on this list. I think I saw. I do not understand that. She is kind of young, so maybe that's maybe why. But she's already a 10-year vet because she's worked when she was like 12. She's just a phenomenal wrestler. She has that aura around her. She has some great moves. Does great stuff out there. She has such a long career ahead of her that like top 10s are going to be her thing for like basically the rest of her career. I personally have her at 2. She could have definitely fell to Sarie spot at 3. I kind of went back and forth with Sarie and her. I feel like Sarie had a better year, but I feel like the talent that 22-year-old possesses is just insane that I could not have her at my number 2. So AZM number 2. Next up is Tony Storm at 1. The problem with Tony Storm at 1 here for me is, one, she just was on the pre-show for AEW. Like, she's definitely fallen off the rest of this year because she lost the title and they're doing gimmick changes and all of that. The timeless Tony Storm gimmick wasn't bad. I thought overall pretty good gimmick. I think it cooked well enough in certain areas, but again, just not really my cup of tea when it came to her wrestling. I feel like she's phenomenally talented, but it's just not like out of the rest of my top 10. I wouldn't have her there. I don't even know if I'm honestly. I put her in my top 20. I would have to really hash out the top 20 list because it was hard for me to get 10. But I didn't care about her as much. I think it's a lot to do with AEW storytelling that she had one major feud and a few minor feuds.
Come on, dude.
Not a lot of it came back to me. And well, my number 1, which is crazy that she's at the bottom of this list right here, is Mayu at 14. I have her at 14. I don't
know who that is.
She currently have one of the major Stardom titles.
Nobody has to know who that is.
I don't know how she is on 14. That is just insane for me. She's definitely my number 1. Has phenomenal matches with everybody, and she will probably forever be my number 1 until somebody comes along and really knocks that out. Honorable mentions at least around the top 25 because I haven't really hashed it out. I would definitely have Roxanne Perez right here at 11. Is pretty solid. Probably have her at like 13, 14. My 11 spot would probably definitely be.
I can't.
I just had the brain for Starlight Kid. Just had a phenomenal match.
That many above her.
Overall, just a great wrestler. And if you look at some of the other ones,
probably
pretty decent. Don't think I put her in the top 20. Smash Pova. Marsha, I honestly haven't seen enough of her matches. I would put her in the top 20. Becky Lynch, I don't believe is a top 20 wrestler. She's great. I like Becky a lot, but talent-wise, I think that everybody else is here. And you got Lyra Valkyrie at 20, which I love Lyra Valkyrie. I think she's a really good wrestler, but a top 20 wrestler right now at her age does not feel right when you have other people like Tam should be up higher, Karshia should be up higher. That's just because of the lack of matches. Bianca Belair should be higher. Chris Statlander should be higher. Natsupoi should be higher. Jade Cargill should be higher. There's a lot of people here that should be higher. And yeah, I could go into deeper on this list if you guys want. I wanted to do this video, and if you guys want to see me on the men's side, which I think a lot less negatives to the men's side, but I guess we can also see. So until then, it's been